9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
Happy Monday, y'all. Welcome to Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. My name is TK Trinidad. We're covering all things wrestling news for WWT Live, and I am not alone. The PR princess herself is in the building, Miss Courtney Rice.
Hey, it's Monday. Trying to recover from a interesting weekend, but I'm happy to be here on a Monday. Lots of stuff to cover. Especially
was it like a sad weekend? You seem like you've had a situation this weekend.
I did.
You're trying to recover.
Try to recover from doing a lot of productive things, but it's all good. I'm just happy to be here.
All right. Well, a lot of things. Some Houston people are going to be happy that the fact that Survivor Series will be coming to their neck of the woods on Saturday, November 28th. So tell us about this, because I think this just dropped today, right?
Yeah. So that's what actually happened today, where this year is the 40th anniversary of Survivor Series. And WWE posted a press release that they're going to host Survivor Series at Daikin Park on Saturday, November 28th, making the event's return to the city for the first time since 2017. Tickets for Survivor Series War Games will go on sale Friday, August 7th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Central at Ticketmaster.com. And this is for the second consecutive year. Survivor Series War Games will be held in a major sports stadium following last year's event at Petco Park in San Diego, which set records and attendance, and this marks the first WWE PLE to be held at Daikin Park since the Royal Rumble in 2020.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, obviously we have SummerSlam that's going to be going for 2 days. Do you think that for a lot of that's going to be slowly the thing for a lot of PLEs after this? Like they're going to see how SummerSlam goes, and then all that good stuff. And hey, Eric, Harry, hey, Bosa.
I think for this one in particular, I feel like for Survivor Series, it should be 1 day, especially with the fact too, we're already in SummerSlam. We've heard alleged reports regarding ticket sales regarding SummerSlam. So I would hold off a bit if you want to do it, because for me, and I wish I was in the office when they do these meetings because I don't know what's going on. But I just think for Survivor Series, since it's like the 40th anniversary, it should be one night. Since this, like in particular, it's their final PLE before they supposedly go on Christmas, because they have their holiday, they have their in-house holiday tour and everything else. But for this one, I think this should be one night. It's going to be very hard to set, especially for Survivor Series, because I think people don't realize how big Survivor Series is. I mean, people who've been watching wrestling for years understand the tradition of Survivor Series nearing Thanksgiving, but also understanding it's like 40 years of history.
Yeah, it's we'll see. I both says. Oh, also, guys, if you do want to watch Survivor Series, go and get yourself a NordVPN. You can watch that. Just use the code WWT to get 77% off. Also, our super chats are open. But Bosa said an interesting thing. It feels like a lot of their big four should be 1 day. It's hard to sell tickets for 2 nights. I agree. However, I wonder, when they go more overseas, will those 2-night events, work? Because then I feel like a lot of them are 2 nights. Then now they're looking at pushing WrestleMania, which is kind of 3 nights anyway. You have NXT, actually it's 4 nights. So you have SummerSlam, not SummerSlam, SmackDown, NXT. It's a 2 a day on a Saturday, and then you have the Sunday night. So it's pretty much 3 nights, which, the honesty, it's like like a week with all the wrestling there. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, you kind of have to go back when they were in Saudi for the Royal Rumble, which I'm very surprised they didn't make it 2 days. Well, technically, it was kind of 2 days because they had SmackDown the night before, then they had the Rumble the next night, and I think they had Raw on Monday, I believe.
Yeah, now that I think about WrestleMania, like I got there the weekend before, and I started working on Monday. But I feel like the majority of the events started on like a Tuesday, Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
the WWE events. So you're kind of going like from a Wednesday to a Monday, because I mean, you're already there. You might as well stay for Monday Night Raw as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy, but we'll see what happens. Congratulations to Houston on that, and them making that announcement. And just for our producer from the future, what do we have for Raw coming up tonight?
It's kind of crazy because they're in Dallas, Texas tonight for Monday Night Raw, courtesy of Adam Pierce because he made the preview yesterday on his socials. We're just pretty much, because this is pretty much the final stop before Saturday night's main event, but we're on the road to SummerSlam in a couple weeks. We have the Genius of the Sky,
Keep
Queen
talking. I'm just
Io.
gonna close
Yes,
this window.
the Genius of the Sky, Queen Io, will be taking on Roxanne Perez after getting beaten down by the Judgment Day the last couple weeks. She is looking for retribution, and hopefully she does get it, because we did see her help out Sol Ruca when she defended the Intercontinental Championship against Raquel Rodriguez. We're also going to have the contract signing between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. They announced a match on Raw 2 weeks ago, but now it's official. It's going to be official during a contract signing, and you could expect a lot of fireworks between these two. We're also going to focus on who's going to be the next number one contender for the Intercontinental Championship, who's going to be Penta's next challenger. So there will be a number one contenders gauntlet match happening. We have Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, Chad Gable, Dominic Mysterio, Rusev, Ethan Page, and Joe Hendry, all getting an opportunity to go for the Intercontinental Championship. And we also are going to have Brock Lesnar make his appearance after the anticipated Hell in a Cell match between him and Obafemi. Very curious on what Brock is going to say, but all this and more is happening at the top of the hour tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Netflix. And is there a match, segment, or anything in particular get you excited for Monday Night Raw?
I mean, I'm interested to see what Brock is gonna do. I mean, I feel like everybody should feel like this if you watch somebody their evolution through NXT, but even prior to that and seeing where they are. Like Roxanne, seeing where Roxanne is now is crazy, in a good way. So I mean, anything Roxanne does, I'm a fan of. And then yeah, pretty much the whole card seems it's great. And when you look at it, you're like, this is 3 hours. Um, you know. But yeah, definitely Roxanne. I'm definitely interested to see, how I think we're all predicting it's gonna be Brock and Oba for SummerSlam, but I'm interested to see how this is gonna play out as far as storyline wise.
Yeah, I'm very curious outside of like the ladies with Roxanne. I'm very excited for the Intercontinental Championship Gauntlet match because I feel like almost anybody could challenge Penta. I know a couple weeks ago Will said Chad because he's in Minneapolis because it's something right there, and just figuring out what they could do with Chad after his stock at AAA. Just keep that flame going. So I'm very curious in that. Also, the contract signing going to be very interesting between Roman and Seth. Not sure what else is going to happen because I'm pretty sure it's going to be the both of them. But of course, there are going to be a lot of shenanigans outside of everything else because I feel like there's just so many between the Usos, Jacob, Solo, LA Knight, so much happening outside. And I don't even know what to expect, but very curious on that. And also, yeah, ladies, the Intercontinental Championship, pretty much this is the final Monday before Saturday night's main event this weekend.
That's crazy. Oh yeah, we have to do a show for that. We'll make it happen. The date, like we're already like in the middle of July. It's so insane. First world problems. I'm like, I haven't really even partied yet this summer. It's very unfortunate. All right, so we have some breaking news with Roman Reigns. He extended an invitation to somebody and it'll be live at Peacock for actually this Saturday. So talk to us a little bit about that.
So, I mean, if you follow New York sports with the Knicks, Jalen Brunson, one of the superstars from the New York Knicks who won the NBA championship, he accepted Roman Reigns' invitation to Saturday Night Main Event at Madison Square Garden this Saturday. Apparently, this is going to be very interesting. I don't know what the purpose of this, but very curious. I mean, obviously, of course, as I mentioned, the New York Knicks are the reigning NBA world champions. So
Crazy.
it's going to be
To them.
crazy. But it's going to be very interesting how this is going to flow. Obviously, continuing the celebration. We already know Danhausen is going to be facing off against J.D. McDonough, and the Knicks gave Danhausen a jersey. So I wouldn't be shocked if Jalen and Danhausen cross paths backstage, but very curious on what Roman has up his sleeves.
I mean, I feel like they have to do it, right? Like you have to continue with the stuff. I love when, and I'm sure I've missed some, but I love when WWE and other shows, like I think oh my gosh, it's just slipped my mind, but like other shows, they slip like Easter eggs in for the people who know. If you know, you know. If you don't, then you just didn't get it. So I feel like they would have to do that. Like, why would you miss that layup? But you know, no criticizing, but not criticizing WWE. They often miss some layups that, you know, we feel. So we'll see how it goes. We shall see how
we'll see how that goes. Very curious.
And then we have MPPX Wrestling. There's an event happening September 18th. Break it down for us.
Yes. So the forever Ring of Honor Women's Champion Athena. This is her baby. She's going in with number 4 because I asked her, and it's crazy because I asked her when I did the Ring of Honor media scrum, is she planning to do it the following year? And she was unsure. Now we're gonna have this happen again. She definitely do it. This is like an all-women show in Houston, Texas. Obviously, last year she had women from AEW, Ring of Honor, many other independent promotions. She had a surprise appearance by Mercedes Moné that came in. But I'm very excited she is continuing this. Tickets will be available soon. She did put a little bit of a teaser out there, but hopefully we should get more details. And very, very excited Athena is continuing this and super happy that it's still running, and very curious on what other promotions will be a part of this.
I know, and there's so many, like it feels like every year there's a new like roster of women. I wish they would do or shit, maybe we should do this. You know how they had it in the magazines back in the day? They had like the class of whatever. I know they have one for Black wrestlers and they have one for wrestlers, but I feel like, and I guess the PWI 250, but something a little bit more. Maybe I have to work on that for the website, like the class of 2026, because when you do the PWI, it's like taking people who've already done the work. But now, like looking at new people on the scene, yeah, I think we should do that.
And there's literally so many out there I didn't even heard of, and I was just like, what?
Yep. So maybe we should. I'm gonna put that in. I'm gonna put that in the group chat right now, so I don't forget. But class of 2026. Yeah, I am interested to see. I really wish that like we can go to like all the women's events, but definitely congratulations to Athena. I know we've talked about this so many times, but any thoughts on Athena and her forever championship? Like, do you think they're just gonna retire the belt at this point, or what's happening with that?
No, I think my world's gonna be the one to do it. I said this after the promo that Athena did after Forbidden Door, directed to her, like her. Oh yeah, they're definitely gonna meet at Death Before Dishonor, and I think with Wednesday, because I know Maya and High Honor teaming up with Willow, taking on Mercedes and Divine Dominion. Don't be shocked if Athena comes in, because apparently her and Mercedes have somewhat of a common enemy, not just with Willow, but with Maya World as well. So that it really probably will add a lot of fuel to the fire. So that's going to be very interesting to see. And also with the fact too, this is teacher versus student. I mean, I know everybody says, well, and with Billy Starks and everything, that should have been, but this one is actually a little bit different because Athena trained Maya World. And there's a lot more deeper to the story when many people don't realize. And with the fact too, with Athena's words, it did seem a little harsh, but Maya World's ready for firepower. And I think this could really build up. And also with the fact too, I just want to see Athena on the roster. I just want to see her on Dynamite. I know she's carried Ring of Honor so much on her back. She's done everything that she can. I mean, we know this. People in the chat know how much work she's put in, but.
So the question is there a place for her in AEW?
Well,
because the thing is this, right? I would hate, I'm going to say it a third time. I would hate if I am the forever champ and I drop it and then I get to AEW and there's nothing. It's kind of the equivalent of Asuka for NXT. She gets there and her first day on the main roster, Charlotte just like, 500 days are gone. Like I would feel like I understand maybe she has to start from the bottom, but do you have to start from the bottom when you're the forever champ? You know what I'm saying?
She shouldn't have to. She shouldn't have
to.
to.
So then where would you put Athena? And then maybe that is the bigger thing. Maybe that's what Tony is trying to figure out. Like, okay, well, how do we make this transition from ROH as the forever champ into AEW and not make it where, we have nothing for her and now she's sitting in catering and she was the former forever champ. Like, how do you? I feel like you have to have a grandioso story.
And I think for that one, it's just finding a story that makes sense, pairing her with somebody that she can work chemistry with, and that can also help build a lot of stock. So that's something too. And on top of that, you also have Stardom coming in, which is this is the first time that I'm seeing a lot more presence on Stardom. And Athena has a lot of history with Stardom. Obviously, of course, we've seen it with Tekla, but she also has some history. And she faced off with some ladies from Stardom. So that could also be another factor. But also just working with somebody in that division that really can help out with both of their stocks and just make, and I said this a couple months too, I would like to see a good blood feud. I feel like I haven't seen a really good blood feud in the women's division for quite some time. And it's like, it doesn't even need a title. It's just like, give me a good blood feud. You did it with Swerve and Hangman. You did it with MJF and Bryan Danielson. You did it with MJF and Kenny. So it's like, I would like to see a nice, good blood feud in the women's division. And I feel like Athena can have chemistry. It's just like, who can be the person who can she have chemistry with that could really take it off to the next level? Because I feel like, and we said this many times with Boss Van Tony, you need to find multiple stories. You gotta find multiple stories on where it makes sense. I mean, granted, you had Tony Storm and Mariah May, and as much as I love Tony Storm, you can't just like go off the high horse of what happened 2 years ago. You can't do it last year with Tony and Mercedes. You have so many other things that you could do with other women. Like I said this many times with Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter could have had a blood feud with Tekla, and I would have loved to see that happen, but it is what it is. But I think with Athena, it's just they have to figure out which female in the women's division can make sense. Just make it make sense. Give him a blood feud. If you can give Swerve and Hangman a blood feud, I don't know why you can't give Athena a blood feud with somebody in that division.
Very true. Hey, Lynette. Hey, Maria. We'll see how it all plays out. It's kind of like a mini fantasy booking, but I am curious. I really just hope that they don't like take it off her and then she's just floundering.
That's the thing I'm worried about. I like Athena. I don't want her to flounder, especially with the thing that she did for Ring of Honor.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that part, speaking of AEW. Oh wait, what did Jeffrey say?
He said we can never get what we want. I've been waiting for Orange and Juice Robinson to be a team. Orange Cassidy. I know.
Oh, that part. Speaking of AEW, so AEW, let's talk about Full Gear. It's going to be headed to Phoenix, November 14th. So tell us about that.
Oh my goodness. So today they announced it courtesy of the Arizona Republic. One of AEW's biggest pay-per-views is going to Phoenix, Arizona. AEW posted this on their socials today. They're coming to Phoenix. They're heading to the Mortgage Matchup Center on Saturday, November 14th, which is really interesting because the last few years they came to the East Coast in New Jersey. So I guess we were a little bit spoiled and they want to branch out, which I get it, to Phoenix, but I'm very happy. This is one of their signature pay-per-views in Full Gear. So I'm very excited that they're keeping that tradition alive since they've been there from the very beginning. I'm happy they're branching out to other states. I know when they did Arizona, it was Double or Nothing last year. And I'm very happy they're branching out to different territories that they may be familiar with, but not too familiar with, which is actually a good thing. And I also like it that they have a local media outlet breaking the news. No disrespect to any of the dirt sheets, but I'm happy it's a local media outlet that's breaking the news first. It makes me very excited. And also, yeah, this is like one of their signature pay-per-views close to Thanksgiving, because at that time they'll get ready for the Continental Classic.
Yeah, I love the fact. I feel like, haven't they been to Arizona before for a pay-per-view?
Yeah, last year for Double or Nothing.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to them. I know, I guess Ed's gonna definitely want to go to that, but we'll see if he's still gonna be in the streets for that. But we have more AEW news with Redemption happening in Montreal, Quebec. Actually, just around the corner. Oh my gosh!
Yes,
July. I mean,
almost around the corner. Almost around the corner. They're ready for Redemption. So, if you're familiar with the Rouge, and I hope I said this right, Rougeau Wrestling Dynasty. This was announced on their socials that during AEW Redemption buy-in, which is their pre-show, they're celebrating 80 years of the Rougeau Wrestling Dynasty, celebrating one of the most prolific wrestling families in the history of Montreal. And it's going to be live during AEW Redemption buy-in on Sunday, July 26th. I'm very excited for this one in particular. Obviously, of course, if you're familiar with tag team wrestling, you're familiar with the Rougeau brothers, who've been well known, one of the most prolific tag teams in, well, obviously from WWF, but also they did have a interesting feud with the British Bulldogs, which has been a little bit memorable. But
I think I remember them talking about that on
yes.
Is it A&E biography or the Dark Side of the Ring?
I think it's A&E, but if you watch the Dynamite Kids Dark Side of the Ring story, they talk about this.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's Dynamite Kid.
Yes. So I'm very happy that they're celebrating the wrestling dynasty. Very popular in Montreal, which is actually very, very cool. 80 years. And this is one of the things I do like about AEW, which is kind of crazy because everybody's trying to fight for the Rougeau brothers to get in the WWE Hall of Fame, but AEW does this. And I think it's really nice that they're doing it in Montreal, which is really, really great. And I love that
they're time WWE's been to Montreal.
Ooh, that's a good question. That is a good question.
Because I feel like, they were there for the 23rd and 24th in 2026 for SmackDown, but they haven't been there for a pay-per-view. 2023 Elimination Chamber.
Oh yeah, that was in Montreal because Sammy and Roman fought.
Interesting. Well, I mean, WWE can't do everything, and this is the great thing about having other promotions to highlight different historical things in wrestling. Because as we know, for both promotions and a lot of other promotions too, there's just a lot of like political, stuff that people have to sift through. So
that, and also with the fact too, I really applaud them because I think the last couple of weeks, Tony Schiavone and Nigel did this on Collision, because I forget the person that passed, but I love that they're highlighting people like in the space from like the NWA days and when it was on TBS. So that makes me happy that they are highlighting this, especially people that I never heard of, which is actually very fascinating. So it's really nice to see other promotions do that and celebrate the history. Like, it can't be all just under one wrestling promotion.
Very true. Well, let's talk. I just saw the last story. Okay, we definitely have to talk about that one. But before we talk about that, actually, two WWE stories. Let's talk about Damian Priest. He's in the Marvel Rivals. Let's talk about that.
I was very excited for this because Damian Priest is in Marvel Rivals. He's going to be voicing the Hood in the game, confirming it by quote tweeting the season 9 trailer with the character's own line. No one beats the Hood. In the trailer for season 9, The Mystery of Thebes, the Hood stabs Apocalypse from behind and delivers that line voiced by Damian Priest. The character, the Marvel criminal Parker Robbins, who draws his powers from a stolen demonic cloak, becomes playable when season 9.5 arrives on August 7th. Season 9 itself launched July 10th, sending the roster into an Egyptian-themed murder mystery. And I'm very excited because if you guys recall that Damian Priest was supposed to be in something other in Marvel, Black Panther, and apparently that didn't happen because there was a lot of circumstances backstage and management or whatever. So this is a little bit of redemption for him that he's finally getting an opportunity to be a part of Marvel. It's a start, but I would like to see him involved more in other projects. And I'm very happy to see a lot of wrestling superstars branch out into acting and also other opportunities as well.
They have to. I mean, at the end of the day, you're only, but it's the less wear and tear on the body. Yeah, so definitely congratulations to him. I definitely want to see him more. I agree with you, Courtney. Yeah, because I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna have much for him.
I know.
Yeah. So we'll see. But let's talk about CM Punk. His hotel accuser deletes the video and statement after the backlash. It's not funny, but it's funny.
It is not funny at all. And oh boy, this happened over the weekend. So pretty much a mom of a 6-year-old accused CM Punk of ignoring her 6-year-old son at a WWE hotel, has now deleted her video and statement after, I wouldn't say CM Punk's fan, but wrestling fans turned against her online. Pretty much it started after CM Punk posted a deleted Instagram story one day after WWE's live event in New Mexico. He thanked the crowd before warning people not to follow him back to his hotel. Obviously, of course, he posted that, but he never identified or explained exactly what happened. His post made it sound like somebody had followed him from the arena to the hotel, but pretty much it has been floating on socials about encounter of a family and their 6-year-old son. And the mother said her family was already inside the hotel when the boy noticed CM Punk and became excited. And a family member accused CM Punk of mad dodging them after the son recognized him, and the mother walked away from the encounter with a harsh message for her son. She pretty much said, "Don't meet your heroes." And she made a statement on socials, which is now deleted, by the way, denying that the family stalked Punk or invading his personal space. She said they arrived at the hotel around the same time as several WWE stars and only hoped Punk might acknowledge the children. And pretty much, yeah, it's very interesting because I'm not even going to go into detail because it's just very bizarre, especially the way that she posted before she deleted it.
It's one of those things where, yeah, it's one of those things where, and I understand, like, for myself, like, living in LA, it's a little different. And then also being in the field that I am, it's a little bit different. Like, okay, like, I see a lot of these people, like, all the time. Hell, some of these people even go to my gym. And some of them even go to my dentist. I told you about that one, Courtney. So it's interesting. Like, you know, I don't, for me, I guess I always like, okay, well, there's always another time. And also you just don't know, like it might not be meant to be. But also you have to realize that these people are people. So it's just kind of one of those things where, like, I remember we were at dinner at WrestleMania and there's a bunch of them at the table and people saw them and they wanted the kids to literally go in the restaurant while they're eating. And it's just kind of like, I get it. And then the parents is like, at least the parent was asking, but it's also like, you shouldn't even ask. But there's certain things, there's certain like code of conduct. Like, I get it. This might be the one and only time that you might see this person, but also, if it is meant to be, it's meant to be. You might see them another time. I don't know. I don't know. It's very.
This is why we have this platform, Women's Wrestling Talk, because this is always an occurring thing. People need to understand wrestlers are human beings and they have their own personal lives. And I can see why a lot of them don't disclose the relationship status because of stuff like this. And we have seen it pretty much this year, from WrestleMania to being in their hotel rooms. And there's just so much. And this, working in my fields, I dealt with many people who are in the limelight, but I'm not going to disclose it because I've built relationships. But at the end of the day, you have to understand and respect their boundaries. I did see the video, and unfortunately, we do have some fans, and I can say this being a part of a boy band fanatic. You do have fans that they think they are entitled. And let's be clear, they don't owe you nothing. CM Punk does not owe you anything, and he just wants to get on his life. Granted, I'm not the biggest fan of CM Punk, but I do respect him on a few things, but it just reeked entitlement. And honestly, I said this on my watch on many times, you got to be very, very careful on who you bring in that room. And I said this on my watch along last week on AEW, TNA, they just have to be very cautious on who they bring in the room, especially when it comes to media scrums. And with the fact too, with WWE, with all these content creators kind of shifting away and doing all these other promotions, quote unquote, grifting them. So that's also another concern as well. And I think this needs to be a wake-up call, because we're still going to address it. Yes, it gets tiring. Yes, it gets occurring. But also we have to put the PSA announcement as well. Like, just understand that they're humans and they have lives to live. And if you want to meet them, pay for a meet and greet, pay a ticket for the show, and just be done with it.
It's crazy though, because I think I mentioned this, I don't know. I was talking about I was watching this video on like Michael Jackson, and the fact that because he was so mysterious, people really like gravitated. That's why they like fell out when they saw him. And it's the same. The same is the case for like Beyonce, Drake. That's why they took a page out of his book as far as not doing interviews, because the more mystique there is, the more you're curious, the more you want to invest more, all this other stuff. But I think almost with wrestling, it's the reverse. It's like you're like, okay, I have this life, but I also have social media. I'm going to allow you guys into my life through social media. But because you allow the people into their lives, they feel like they own part of you. It's like very odd, like radios like that, TVs like that. I forgot what interview I was watching, but the guy was saying, with TV, week after week, you're allowing people, this person into your house, so you feel like you know them. Whereas a movie, nobody's really, unless you're crazy, nobody's really running up to Denzel crazy, but they'll run up to Will Smith before he became a big movie star. So it's wrestling is just it's a little bit different. And then you get invested in the storylines, and then you're like, man, like you don't really like it's a really a word play on your mind in some sorts. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't be doing it. But I feel like we're gonna just I feel like now, on top of that, with less live shows and more PLEs going overseas, unfortunately, we're going to start seeing more of this, because now we're losing the access to the wrestlers. Because remember, there was at one point, you can guarantee that there was a holiday show in Los Angeles. You can guarantee that there's going to be at least a couple, 2 to 3 Raw shows in Southern California. And I feel like that was the same in every major city. And now, I think you might have 1 or 2 shows in Los Angeles, maybe, if that. And the tickets are like $500. So I feel like it's going to get worse.
It's one of those things. And even here in the East Coast, like, granted, I don't want to say we're spoiled, but granted, we could get shows in Philly, but it's like in New Jersey. Like, even when I went to Atlantic City, it was like the first time in 2 decades it's been to Atlantic City. So that's a long, long time. Granted, it's going to be an ongoing thing. And even like you said, when they go overseas, it's going to be interesting. But it wouldn't shock me because we've seen a lot of interesting stuff when they were in Paris, when they were in Australia, when they were in the UK. So, yeah.
Well, we'll see. When speaking of overseas, well, we don't know how WWE is going to get overseas because WWE is putting its private jet up for sale. I wonder if they're going to get a new jet. But tell us about this story. Crazy.
I really thought this was an interesting story. So, if you are familiar with it, they are putting their private jet up for sale. The company's 2008 Bombardier Global 5000 is listed by Haggerty Jet Group on behalf of WWE Jet Services for $10,495 per a listing on AV Buyer. Pretty much it gave a fully makeover in December 2023. New black paint with red accents, 13 passenger cabin, forward gallery, conference group, and high-speed internet. All ready to go before it goes on sale. And one note for buyers, the listing says the WWE logo come off before the sale closes. So if you would like to place a bid and you would like your own private plane, you can go on the link and make a bid for it.
I feel like that's the part you would buy it for. Like why
I don't know.
I guess.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, no, Jeffrey, we don't have that type of money.
I don't know.
We're steadily trying to, bail Stead out from the streets almost on a weekly basis. We don't have that type of money to buy a jet.
I can imagine. Yeah, bail money's not cheap.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm curious. I don't know if they'll be able to like who's gonna buy because it's what 2008.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a. I don't know, man, but I guess congratulations to whoever that new owner is for that. Yes, so many things. But with that being said, a nice. I think that was it for as far as the news for today. So it's gonna be a short day today. With that being said, where can everybody find you?
They can always find me chirping on WWT Live as much as I can. Wednesday, you know where to find me for Timeless Elite Wednesday because we have AEW Dynamite. We're going to be in Boston this week, and I think it's close to being sold out in Boston. I think, but you get to hang out with me for 2 hours because even though we're on the road to Wembley Stadium, we do have a pit stop with Redemption, so you get to spend 2 hours with me in Boston this week on AEW Dynamite. You also get to see me on Thursdays because we are handling exclusive coverage of the Knockouts TV tournament. We do have some matches up for this week. We have Harley Hudson taking on Thea Hale. And then we also have M by Elegance taking on Rosemary. We're also going to have AJ Francis taking on Moose this Thursday on Impact. So you do not want to miss it. And we're pretty much going to do coverage until we find an inaugural Knockout TV champion. So, I mean, nobody else is doing it, but why not us do it? So it actually makes sense because it is women's wrestling. But it has been a really fun tournament. I'm very, very happy to see all the ladies really give it their all and very, very curious on where it's going to be in the finish line. So you can hang out with me on Thursdays. Also with the fact too, if you're in Point Beach tomorrow, I will be doing media coverage for Fight Factory Wrestling. It's going to be a very fun show near the shore, near the Jersey Shore. I'm very excited for covering this. So you don't know what to expect, especially if you're near the Jersey Shore. So if you're not that far, make sure to hang out. And tickets are almost sold out because you don't want to wait till last minute and stand at the door and tickets are sold out. Also with the fact to make sure to follow me on socials on @CourtneyNJ11 because I do have some content happening on social, posting it for the couple of days. But yeah, I'm just juking and jiving away and just putting the work in.
There it is. Definitely for sure. Well, you guys can catch me everywhere at TK Canada. Make sure you catch all our articles at www.talkpod.com. As well, check out our social media at WW Talk Pod. And with that being said, thank you guys so much. We're gonna work on getting some PLEs for you guys this weekend. Is something else for me?
No.
Oh, okay. We're gonna work on
That's just my finger. That's my finger.
We're gonna working on getting some PLEs for you guys this weekend, as well as me and Christina's back this weekend as well. And I mean, talking about the weekend, it's Mondays, which is insane. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Ciao for now.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.